I remember back when I played what it was like, and I remember being in 2000 and 2009, Houston Texans. Okay, the coaching staff for the Houston Texans in 2009 was Kyle Shanahan, John Benton, Gary Kubiak, Alex Gibbs, and Mike Shanahan. Basically, the foundation tree of wide zone and basically the zone offense. And in 2009 in camp there, they wouldn't let us pull. So I'm still playing there, and they wouldn't let us pull. Like, I remember Alex Gibbs sat there one day in camp and said, if we pull a single MFer on this football field, I'm walking off. And I remember laughing because I'm some camp body, I don't know any different. But the reality was he was dead serious because he had a philosophy and understanding what he's trying to do. So I'm going to jump into this stuff because I know by the end of this thing, you guys are going to have a bunch of questions. So I'm going to kind of hammer this into you. So the reason I show the first play right here, and this is Dwayne Ledford's North Carolina State team 2 years ago. And this year he's at Louisville. In fact, he's probably the best coach when it comes to learning this play, I believe, in college football. So I do show a lot of his film. And because I have asked him, he's a really good guy. If you ever reach out to him, he'll help you out any way he can. So basically, wide zone, rules real simple. We never read the force player. We're always going to read the ML line of scrimmage. We're going to run wide zone to the right here. And the reason I show you this is because I want you guys to understand how the play works, how it's synchronized, and how this is one big dance. So this is an odd front. And how you teach an odd front is real simple. You don't block the force player. What you do is you block the first down lineman, you work the second down lineman. So the running back is going to read this kid first, this kid second. We're not worried about him because we're never going to go outside because our aiming point for our running back is going to be right here. He's going to aim at the inside foot of a ghost tight end. If there's no tight end, then he's going to aim 3 feet outside the tackle's foot. Okay, so that means from this point right here, that means the running back's path is going to take him straight down this line, and he's not going to veer for that path for 5 steps unless something forces him to move. So he's going to aim at this point. The reason you don't read the force player is because you're never going to go outside of this kid because he is the contained player in the reality of wide zone as opposed to stretch and outside zone. I'm not trying to capture the edge. I am trying to widen the edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to work the first down lineman to the second down lineman. I'll teach the combos later, but I want to show you how this works in one big dance. The running back is going to take him, so he's going to take a rocker step on his first step, opposite of where he's going to go, which is going to put his shoulders on a train track to the inside foot of the ghost tight end. What he's trying to do is he's trying to deliver the defense to the O-line so the O-line can give a clear, defined read for the running back with their head placement. Remember I said head placement because it's going to come back in a second and why it's so important. So the running back is going to go where my mouse cursor is right here, and he is not going to divert from that path. He knows by the time he gets the ball in his hands if he's going to get outside and where he's going to go. He knows he's going to cut off the center. He knows he's going to hit this hole because the first down lineman maintained gap integrity and washed out. So he knows the second down lineman he's reading got hooked. But he's going to stay on his path for 5 steps. And on his 5th step, he's going to put his foot in the ground and he's going to get vertical based on what he just saw, based on the head placement of the down lineman. So watch how the offensive tackle puts his head outside, takes the backside hand, he drives this guy, locks it out. He sees the head placement right here and right here. So he knows right now, simply put, I'm going to put my foot in the ground and I'm going to cut right off the center's butt right there. And that's how the play works. I'm going to show you this from college. I'm going to show it to you in the pros. I'm going to show you high school film from this year so you get a good, clean understanding of what we're trying to look for. Okay, so this is LA Rams 2018. This is McVay. This is not Shanahan, okay? This is not the same tree. You'll notice the biggest difference between go back and watch Shanahan film. They're going to attack this guy, and they're going to run him, and they're going to be aggressive at the point of attack, okay? Making sure I still have you guys. Do I still have you guys? My internet just kind of fizzled out on me.
Yeah, we got you, Coach.
Cool, appreciate it. So what's going to happen is this guy, this solo block right here, front side, he's going to passively pass set and shuffle this guy right here. And you can see how it's going to work. See how he shuffles and then pushes the guy back. He pushes the guy to the outside. This is a little different. So when you see the LA Rams run this play, they're going to run the front side a little different than Shanahan or a Dwayne Ledford's North Carolina State team. So what we're doing is we're going to watch again. We're watching how the play works in a whole in these few plays right here. Running back is going to read first down lineman to second down lineman. He's going to aim at the inside foot of the ghost tight end. He's going to rocker step his first step. He's going to aim at this point. He knows by the time he gets the ball in his hand, he ain't going outside. His eyes are now snapped to the inside, but he's staying on his path the entire time. And on his fifth step, he puts his foot in the ground and he gets vertical behind the center. The secret to this play is do not outrun your center. If you go back and watch all of these plays you're about to see today, you're going to see that either they're going to cut straight off the tackle's butt or they're going to cut off the center's butt. And that's the majority of the time on this play. You cannot outrun your center. Okay. So now I'm going to show you our film from this year. So this is this year against an odd front. Okay. Remember, we don't read the force player. Running back is going to read this kid to this kid. His aiming point is going to take him to the ghost tight end or the tight end's inside foot. Running back is going to rocker step, sets his train tracks. He knows by the time he gets the ball in his hand out of a pistol set that he is not going to get outside of 48. So his eyes immediately snap to 53, the nose guard, and he sees the head placement, okay? He's going to see the head placement of the center against the nose, and he knows he's going to cut right off the guard and the center. He's going to continue on his path, though, for 5 steps until something tells him to push vertically, and there he gets on his step and he goes. The biggest thing you got to understand is this. This play is about taking what the defense gives you. By the way, I apologize for my offense. We are slower than molasses wintertime. We get caught on every clip, so I'm sorry. Okay, so this is previous school, different type of kid, same offense, different personnel groupings. Okay, we're going to run wide zone to your right here, okay? What you're going to see is you're going to see a kick out block right here on the force player, so we're not reading him. The running back is going to read this down lineman to this down lineman. Combos are simple, okay? Covered, uncovered, working the first combo. Covered, uncovered, working the second combo. You're going to cut him off. We're going to talk about the details of that later. Running back is going to rocker step. He rocker steps, takes his train track path right through here. He's got 5 steps to get his foot on the ground. He reads 50 first. He knows he's not going to get outside of 50. His eyes snap to the nose guard. He sees the nose guard trying to maintain gap integrity, and he puts his foot in the ground right now. You can see him sneaking straight up the field right there. Okay, the idea behind this play is to horizontally press the defense and then cut them in half to be able to get themselves in a situation where they can be successful. So I'm going to show it to you from here, and you can watch how the running back takes his steps. Okay, he's going to rocker step. Okay, rocker step, takes his train track path. He's going to wait till the 5th step, get vertical right behind it, and he sneaks himself right on the edge there. Again, the idea is stay on your path for 5, deliver the defense to the offensive line. All right, so why do we do this? There's a couple reasons. Because it's all private personnel, it doesn't matter what you do. You don't need to change your scheme for your kids if your scheme is simply something everybody knows. So for us, I've done this in I formation. I've done this in 20 personnel. I've done this in 10 personnel. I've done it in empty. I've done this in 30 personnel. It doesn't matter what you have. What matters is, do you know the system? Are you confident with the system? Do you have answers for what the defense can give you? You know, for us, this year, we were a lot slower, and you're going to see it. So we ran a bunch of compressed sets to kind of alleviate the need for man coverage and to basically level the playing field against teams that we play. And the teams that we play down here, guys, it's not in any given Friday where we don't play 6 Division I dudes on defense. And so for us, we got to find a way to have a chance. And this play gives us a chance run game wise, but when it comes to passing game and things like that, we're not better in space, so we eliminate it. You know, the other reason we do this because it eliminates negative plays and it keeps us on schedule. You know, being a slower team, we have to stay on schedule. For us, 2nd down and 6 is a win. If I can get to 3rd and 3, I'm winning. So, you know, for us, this play there's no negative plays. You know, we did the math this year. We ran this play 274 times and had 2 plays of negative yards all year on this play. Because one time the running back slipped and one time our offensive lineman slipped and fell, and he let the 3 get in. So this gets us back to the line of scrimmage, okay? The other thing is, you know, we can attack the best pass rusher and not worry about him out-athleting us. You know, when I was at Westbrook and Beaumont, you know, one of the first games we played in our district was against Clavon Chason at LSU. And we basically took our line and said, we're going to attack that kid. We're going to double team in every cost. And we're going to make his athleticism make him make bad decisions. And it kept us in the game because we didn't allow that kid to get one-on-one blocking. I never expected the kid to root him out. And the reality of it is the teams that we play, guys, I can't block one-on-one. My last game in Beaumont, which was 3 years ago, the defensive line, the two interior defensive linemen were Ed Oliver and Kendrick Coburn. And Ed Oliver, you all know, and Coburn was probably going to be a first-round draft pick out of University of Texas right now. And they play on the same team and play defensive tackle together. I don't know about you, but I don't have a swinging soul that can block those kids one-on-one. But what we can do is we can double team, very rarely leave one-on-ones, and allow our kids to have a chance to be successful. Okay, it's repeatable, it's flexible. We can make this look like whatever we want to make it look like. In fact, it's such a part of our offense that we actually create our play action, our boot, and our screens to look exactly like wide zone the first 3 steps. In fact, our play action protection is wide zone combos that we would run normally in our wide zone. Okay. The whole thing works as one big dance. That's why I showed you those plays before. Everything hits wide at the same time. Everything hits vertical at the same time. And so, it's the blocker's job to clearly define the read for the runners so that he can attack the line. I think a lot of people have this misconception that zone is a passive play. I think the way you teach zone is passive. For us, and you're going to hear me say it 100 times, we are blocking with the screws of our helmet, not our hands. We want to force the defense to do things. We don't want to give them two-way goes, okay? So we're going to skip some of these and that we can get through. Okay, so given what I just told you guys and what I just went through, we're going to run wide zone to the right, okay, against a defensive line that's way better than our kids. Aiming point here, okay, reading here to here. Running back is going to take his path. He's going to read outside to in, and here it goes. He knows ball in his hand now. He ain't getting outside of this. He knows on his third step, he knows that he's going to cut right off the centers, but he knows he's going to cut right here. But he's continuing down the path until his 5th step gets in the ground, and then he gets vertical. Okay, the reality for this play is this allows our kids to horizontally press you. If this kid is gap sound, he's going to run with you because he has to, because that's his gap he's in charge of. The idea behind this play is we're going to make you use your rules against you, okay? So how do I teach the running back? In the order I teach this is very important so that you guys understand why we do this. We teach running backs, then we teach quarterbacks, and then we teach the O-line. We teach the running backs because you need to understand why we do the things we do, how we take our path, who we read, and why we read. And then we talk about the quarterbacks because we talk about the quarterback's job on this play. And then we're going to talk about the offensive line because we're going to talk about how important it is for those two guys previous to the O-line for the O-line's job to be successful. Number one, he must read the down lineman outside in. If it's an odd front, he reads the 4 or 4-eye. Never read the force player. If it's an even front, he reads the 5 or whatever that kid is playing on the tackle. Okay? He has to press a line of scrimmage 5 steps before he cuts. I don't care if he sees the hole open up like a freaking Mack truck and a tsunami. You stay on your path for 5 steps because your O-line are assuming you're going to do that because you're delivering the defense to the offensive line when it comes to the path and the angle of departure. It's a one-cut system, meaning the running back has got to get his foot in the ground on his 5th step, and he has to get vertical right now. We don't bounce anything in this offense because we're pushing everything out there. We tell our running backs, if you bounce this thing, it's on you. You get the piss knocked out of you, I don't feel sorry for you. You did it to yourself. And we don't double cut, meaning we don't bounce in the backfield. This is an inside zone. We don't bend it back. We cut and we get vertical right now. Okay, how we teach this to our kids. We actually have, so some of you guys, I don't know if you're old enough, but we have 2 clips we show and we mesh them together. Days of Thunder, Cole Trickle taking the NASCAR car through the smoke. The first time we show it, we show Cole Trickle come around the corner. He sees the smoke, and we see him let off the gas, and he sees smoke. It's cloudy, and he lets off the gas, and he gets the crap knocked out of him. We make sure the kids see that. We show the hospital visit and yada, yada, yada. But then we show him doing it again at the very end of the movie, and then all of a sudden there's a wreck, and there's a bunch of cloudy smoke. And we teach him, hey, just drop the hammer, lower your head, and get through this thing, and it'll all clear for you. That's how we teach this play. If this play is cloudy, put your foot in the ground, trust the process, and get 4 yards. So here's how we teach running backs. Number 1, if it's pistol, we're 7 to 8 yards, depending on who your back is. If you got a faster back, scoot him back. If he's slower, scoot him up. The idea is they have to be patient enough to know where this thing is going to go. And I know that's kind of hard to make sense, but we're trying to make sure that this thing gets vertical right now. And that's what we're trying to do, okay? The next, how we do it, you're going to drop set opposite foot. We're going to set our train track of our shoulders. The ghost tight ends inside foot, okay? Eyes are on the read, never the ball. Our running back coaches usually during mesh drill or doing, you guys talk about quarterback, running back exchanges. Running back coach is always standing there throwing numbers up on his hands so the running back sees his hands and says it instead of actually looking at the ball, because I don't know about you, but every swinging dick in America that plays running back looks at the ball unless you coach them properly, okay? Decisions made on the 3rd, cuts made on the 5th, get 4 yards. How do we evaluate it? We stay on a train track. We don't bow, we don't banana. Don't let those kids bow themselves out. I'll show you some film of our guys doing it and how basically a play that ends up being decent could have been a lot bigger play if he would have just stayed on his path and stayed true to it. Is it a one cut? Are these guys staying on their path and then putting their foot in the ground and making one cut? Or are they trying to just bounce back and forth? Okay. Are the running backs trusting the system? Here's a statistic for you that I don't have to look up because I've said it a million times. This year alone, we averaged 8 yards a carry on this play. In the first quarter, we averaged 4.5. In the fourth quarter, we averaged 9.7. It's a system. It's a process. It is not for us. This is we are going to wear you down. This is power offense without running power, if that makes sense to you. Okay? So I'm going to show you how this works, okay? I'm going to show you how this works, and here we go. So, again, we're going to run wide zone to your left. We're going to read number 1 to number 2. Don't worry about what's going on over here because we'll take care of him with something else, okay? Running back's going to stay on his path. Tackle gets his head placement and gets the hook. Everything kind of happens. Running back has no reason to cut up and get vertical because this thing doesn't wash across his face. He just stays on his path and then gets vertical when something does cross his path. So, again, we're going to stay on your path for 5 because if he attacks that thing early, damn, I forgot about that play. Ooh. He was okay, by the way, believe it or not. Okay, so show you how this works from here. Watch him stay on his path. He just stays on his path the entire time, and there's no reason to leave until something comes late. No reason to leave. Okay, and that was our whole purpose. If you stay true to your path, this thing will clear up for you like a sunny day. Okay. All right, talking about quarterbacks. Number 1. All right, number 1. Heels at 5. Doesn't matter if you're offset. Doesn't matter if you're in pistol. Heels need to be at 5 because you need to be back a little bit so this play can develop and the running back can see it. How I wrote it down is for pistol. We're going to open. We don't ever reverse pivot anymore. We used to. We don't anymore. We're going to open to our running back's path, 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock. If you've ever been a veer quarterback coach or you know the veer, it's the same thing. Your hips of your quarterback have got to give the running back his path on where he needs to go because he's not looking at the ball. He's looking at his read. It's your job as a quarterback to get there, to get the running back on his path and get the ball into his belly, if that makes sense. So here's what's important, and this is the quarterback's biggest job. When you take the ball, you're going to ride from your back foot. You're going to transfer weight to your front foot with the running back in your mesh point. You're going to drive off your front foot. You are going to gain depth and width, and you are going to explode out, and you're going to show your face and your eyes to the defensive end behind you. You have to tell the quarterback, you've got to make eye contact with the defensive end. If the defensive end's not honoring you, that's on you. Okay, why do I show this? 2 reasons. Number 1, this is like day 1 spring ball stuff, okay? So here's what we're doing. Number 1, okay? This quarterback is going to open to this left side so the running back can get where he needs to be. Number 1, you're going to watch this defensive end right here. This is a Division I kid. He comes straight down the heel line. We don't block him. If the running back stays true to his path, sorry, my visuals are terrible here. If he stays true to his path, that defensive end should not be able to get him. But it's my quarterback's job when he hands the ball off that he snaps his head, looks at the defensive end, and gets his butt out here 3 to 5 steps. We tell our quarterback, it's your job as a quarterback on this play. You have to hold 1.5 guys. You got to hold those guys. At least slow this guy down and this guy down, okay? So watch what happens. Quarterback opens himself, 1-2, transfers weight, drives off the front foot. I don't like his footwork. He should have gained depth and width instead of straight back. But notice his eyes are trying to find the defensive end. Defensive end does not make the tackle, okay, because he's screaming down the line, but because the running back's angle of departure is so good, it takes one cut, it would be a miracle for that kid to get there. The reason I show this, quarterback comes to me the next play and says, Coach, he's actually come back here laughing. Coach, run boot, next play. Run boot, next play. Because he knows he set himself up for the boot. Okay? I'm going to watch it again. So it doesn't even matter. So sometimes we'll even slice this kid with a B-back. So we'll run wide zone to your left. We'll slice with this kid right here. And what he's going to do, okay, it doesn't matter. Quarterback's going to do the same thing. 1-2, off his front foot, drive out. Eyes are snapping to the defensive end. Defensive end gets cut because they were on a stunt. Okay? His eyes get there. He tells me, Coach, they're not even honoring me. Okay? This is also another great example of watching the running back path. The running back's job to deliver 28 to the center right here. Okay? That's the whole purpose of this play. Don't worry, we get caught. We always get caught. Okay? The other answer is right here. So again, a defensive end's not honoring it. Okay? As a coach, your job is to have an answer. You don't need a new play. You just have to have an answer for this kid. So we run wide zone. We tell our kid, hey, we're gonna hand the jet this time instead of faking it. We're gonna block you two out and out. Okay? This kid's a heel line player, has been the whole day. There it is. There's the guy with the ball. Nothing changed up front. O-line doesn't need to know anything different. You don't need to put a new play in. You just need to have a simple wrinkle for the system that you're going to run, and that's what we do, okay? We have a system and a simple answer for everything that you're going to do to us. Okay, now I can talk about the fun stuff. Okay, so that was running back and quarterbacks, and talked about, we talked about placement, we talked about track, we talked about shoulder path, we talked about opening up, we talked about quarterback's job of handing the boot, which is probably the most misunderstood part of this play. If you ever want to get a good look at the boot and how important it is, go watch Peyton Manning when he played for the Broncos, and they did everything out of pistol, and they had Anderson, fat butt, back there playing tailback, and how important it was for the boot to be held by Peyton Manning. Okay, 4 rules of wide zone. Number 1, the O-line must define the read of the running back with head placement. We are head blockers. We are not hand blockers. The reason being, if I'm an offensive lineman and I'm a right guard, and I'm playing a 3, and I put my hands on that kid before I put my head on that kid, 2 things are going to happen. 1, I haven't delivered a strikeful force to him. 2, I haven't forced him to make a decision. Is he going to be gap sound and stay in B gap, or is he going to try to play both? And 3, I haven't clearly defined the read for my running back, because my running back doesn't know where I'm really truly taking this guy. Okay? So we screws of our helmet to the play side nipple of the defender in front of us. Whatever angle he's at is the angle of my step and the angle of my head. We don't teach steps. We teach landmarks. Where I put my head, my feet will follow. And that is a promise. Next, we fight to get vertical and step on D lineman's toes. The reality of it is, it's almost never going to happen. You're never going to get vertical and make it look like a perfect shoot block. But what my philosophy is simply this. If the defensive lineman's momentum is going this way, okay, and my momentum is going straight sideways, okay, simple physics tell me force of equal amounts meeting together at the same exact time are going to create this angle right here. That is the one thing we don't want. We don't want penetration. So I need to find a way to have this angle go that way. So you have to tell your kids, instead of taking an angle this way, we're going to try to take an angle this way. So what that means is physics. His angle goes that way. My angle goes that way. We go that way. That's what we want. If you tell a kid to wash this kid out wide, it's going to wash like this. And that's the one thing we don't want, because that's going to force a decision by the running back we don't really necessarily want. Okay, we want to keep this thing on line of scrimmage going that way. This is not a passive play. We are not bucket stepping. We are stepping at our target. We are being aggressive. Never get beat away up and help. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, so I'm a tackle right here. I got a guard right here, and I got a center right here. I got a 3 shade, and I know my center's coming. We're running wide zone that way. Okay, this tackle doesn't have help because he's got 2 guys covered. Simple zone rules. But what is going to happen is this guy knows that he can't get beat inside, so he's got to be a little more cautious with this block. We'll talk about that in a second. But this guard right here, he's got help coming from the backside. So come hell or high water, he better put the screws of his helmet on the play side nipple of that defensive tackle and run, knowing I got help coming. If this guy beats me in play side, this kid right here needs to get reamed. We tell our kids that is the best block in football because you have help coming and you can just come screaming down the line. Okay? Same thing goes for this play right here. The same exact thing known. Number 4, the O-line is responsible for the play side gap. Okay, if there's a backer right here, I'm responsible for B gap. So if I see that backer coming to my B gap, I'm responsible for that gap. But I cannot leave this guy who's attached to me until I'm physically removed from my block. Meaning I can't chase this backer down. That center is going to come help me and knock me off. If you chase, this kid will get up the field, and it's going to cause commotion in the backfield. I'm going to show you how that works later, why it's so important to understand you cannot get beat play side, and you cannot leave until you're forced to. Okay, so here's one for you. We're going to watch left guard center right here. You've got a combo. You got a solo here. You got a combo here. You got a combo here. They're working to that backer right there. We're working play side nipple, so we talked about landmarks, not steps. That means that his step is going to take him straight there. His second step is going to take him here. The center is working together with the guard. He's aiming for the same exact aiming point as the guard. His foot's going to take him here, which means his second foot's going to take him here. That's why we don't teach footwork. We teach aiming points. You just got to get your second step in the ground faster. So what's going to happen is this guard right here is going to get himself in a situation. Step, step. I'm in charge of B gap. This kid's attached to me. I've got good head placement. I did not get beat play side. Okay. But I have this linebacker who's starting to roll himself in a B gap. My guard cannot leave this guy until this guy physically makes me leave. Well, he doesn't. He actually pushes him into it and slows down because he thinks the kid's going to fold over the top, but they end up washing the whole thing over. And now you get yourself in a situation where you just get a nice, easy wash and they'll block themselves. This is an example of this guy right here is delivering this guy to my O-line because of his path. He's too wide. For some of you sidecar guys, you can do this the same way you would do mid-zone. It's just shuffle, crossover, 3, 4, and 5. He's too wide with his path. That's why this thing rounded. It shouldn't have rounded. He should have cut that thing and gotten more vertical faster. He probably would have had a bigger play. Okay? So talking about splits, okay, offensive line-wise, I know some of you guys, you vary your splits. For us, we don't want to go wider than 2 feet because our theory is we're going to double team so much and we're never going to solo block. That the reality of it for us is we want to be close to each other, but not so close we can touch each other's butts, okay? So our theory is we want to stay 18 and 24 inches. The next theory is this. We want to scoot back, and we want the referee to tell us that we have to scoot up. We have a rule in our offense. If I, as the offensive coordinator, my O-line coach says, hey, coach, guys, you guys scoot up. Referee says you guys scoot up. We will tell our kids, literally, just shuffle your feet in place, stand up, and go back down. Until they physically make us scoot up, we ain't scooting up because we need to see what's happening in front of us and let these twists and stunts declare themselves. Okay? Here's a great example of a solo block front side. Okay? We're going to step nipple to dick. This is day 1 install for us. Sorry, the film sucks. 1, 2. Notice his head started down the middle. He's going play side nipple, backside hand strong. He's going to fight to get vertical, and that's how we teach it. Okay? That's how we teach it. I'm going to show you what we mean. So how do I teach this for the O-line? I teach it in 2 different ways, and this is how we teach. We teach the solo blocks first, meaning I teach front side solo, then backside solo, because those are the blocks that you need to teach because everybody needs to know how to cut somebody off and how to block the solo on the front side. So here it is. Real simple. It's down for you. You can see it. Your objective, if you are the first front side covered guy with no help, your job is to capture the play side of the defender in front of you and define the read for the running back. That's it. You don't have to kill them. You don't have to hook them. You don't have to do anything. You just can't get beat up the field. Your job is to define the read for the running back. You're aiming for the play side nipple of the defender in front of you, but you cannot sacrifice a downhill strike for head placement, meaning I have nobody inside me helping me, so I have to be a little more conservative with my head placement. So now, instead of running our face to the play side nipple, we're going to run our face through the middle of his sternum to his nipple sliding over so that we can make sure that guy doesn't slide back inside on us, okay? Our first step is going to take us play side nipple, okay? We're going to gain ground, we're going to gain width, and we're going to make sure that we meet the defender on that sideline of scrimmage. Our second step is when our hat strikes, and we take our foot, we go nipple to dick. Our second step is going to go to the dick. Sorry for the language, but the kids understand sexual references, man. It is what it is. Okay, you guys all coach at the higher level. You guys all get it. Okay, so our rule is our first step is gonna go nipple, second step crotch, and we're gonna bring the wood. If we're covered, our second step is our power step. Or we're gonna take it straight through the crotch. We're gonna throw our face into his shoulder pad, and we're gonna bring the backside hand. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Okay, so what I want to show you here is I want to show you the front side tackle. Okay, this is a sophomore kid right here on the right side. He's a sophomore kid. He's 15 years old. He's not a world beater. He will be amazing one day. But his job right now, being a solo block front side, is probably the easiest block in football. All he's going to do is clearly define the read for number 22. That's all we care about. So all he's going to do is he's going to step nipple to dick. He struck a head straight in the middle. This kid declared he's going to be gap sound to the C gap. Take your backside hand and run him. He looks like a world beater, but the reality of it is the kid probably tripped, and I didn't give him credit for a pancake because I'm an a-hole. It is what it is. But the reality of it is this is the easiest job on this field as long as this kid knows what the hell he's doing. I hope that makes sense for some of you guys, okay? So here's one for you. This right here on the right tackle, same thing. This kid played quarterback literally weeks before this game. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to step nickel to crotch. His second step is way too big, but he errs down the middle, okay? But still tries to slide his head and force that kid to make a decision. That kid wanted to be gap sound, C gap. He's the forced player. So he allowed that to happen, which clearly defined the read of the running back. This is a great clip to show you what banana and bowing looks like and screwing it up. Watch the running back, okay? Right there, he starts to bow this thing, which is not a good decision, because what happens is when he bows it, he has to double cut, which makes both feet stick in the ground. And this is a phenomenal athlete. He doesn't get the opportunity to get vertical. He should have been vertical right here, which allows this linebacker hanging out to fold back in, which makes him have to avoid that, which allows this other linebacker to fold back in and make a play. That play should have been a touchdown. The difference between touchdowns and big gains are kids doing crap the freaking right way. This kid was a phenomenal athlete. He's just hard-headed, and I love him to death, but he should have stayed on his path, and he would have had a freaking touchdown. Makes me mad every time I watch this clip, okay? All right, so now we're going to work the backside block. Okay, so the backside solo is the one thing you got to understand. Okay, no, I'm sorry. We're going to go front side. We're working the backhand, okay? So let's talk about the second part of the front side solo block. We're going to talk about how your eyes are going to strike your target to the play side nipple, but the secret is the backside hand, okay? We call this the catch hand. This is the thing that's going to catch anything coming back in. This is the thing that's going to push anything that wants to go back out. This is the secret. We don't allow our front side hand to attack until we hit our third step. We tell our kids, your backhand and your screws of your helmet are going to hit at the exact same time. Your front side hand is going to hit later after that kid's declared where he's going to go. So how we teach it, we screw the elbow tight to our ribs. We rip up and we try to rip the shoulder pads off the kid as we're running. For the most part, if you think about it, that kid's being gap sound and he's running because you're running with him and you're throwing your head to his play side shoulder. All right, he's going to be running, which means his shoulders are already going to be tipped. And if you lift the backside, he's going to end up tipping himself, and that's what you just saw in the thing before. Okay, so here's a great example, left tackle. Hey, great looking kid over here, number 78. Not a great football player. This is a much better defensive line than we were O-line at the time. So you're going to watch him run. He's going to nipple to dick. Second step is way too big, but you can see his backside hand. Okay, his backside hand starts to go right there. He locks on, and he runs that kid by with the backside hand, just runs him right off the end zone camera. Does he actually block him? Hell no, coaches. He don't block him. He just barely pushes him. That kid right there is terrible at football. He benches 145. But what he does do is he moves the kid. Watch. Get out there. If he goes out wide, running back knows I ain't got to deal with it. It's that simple. Okay? So I'm going to show you this one. This is North Carolina State. Okay? I'm going to show you this one so you can get a feel for it. What you're going to get a nipple to dick, backside hand heavy, solo block, got a combo, okay? Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Backside hand is attaching itself. He doesn't do a very good job. He misses the ribs, but he still pushes him. It's not a beautiful block. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be an easy read for the running back, okay? I'm going to show you another one right here. So I want you to watch the left tackle on this play right here. He's got a solo. They got a solo, okay? You're going to watch the left tackle go nipple to dick. His second step is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Watch. Boom, boom. Second step's already down. He knows this kid's going to stay outside. He's going to strike his helmet. Backside hand's already striking. Watch his frontside hand. Frontside hand's not even on the block. He's going to take that backside catch hand and just wash him right by. The frontside solo is important because you have to define the read for the running back. Other than that, it's probably the easiest block in this entire system, okay? Okay, let's talk about backside. Backside solo block is whoever's cutting the backside off. So if I have a 3, so if I give you an example, if I'm a tackle and I got a guard and I got a center, we're going this way right here, okay? And let's say I got a tackle right here, okay, and a backer right here. This guy right here is the backside solo because he's got to cut that kid off, okay? We tell him he's a solo. He's the backside cutoff guy. He's got to make it happen. You've got to get there. Now, for some of you college guys, you can cut block. Texas guys, you can cut block. Some of you NFHS guys, you can't. I'll show you how we get away with it without cutting. But for the most part, we want to cut people, okay? Your objective is to get the defender on the ground, to eliminate pursuit, to cut off the backside. It's that simple. Your job is to get your freaking face across his body and cut him off. Not your hands, not your hips. Don't let your face has got to go in front of that kid between you and the ball, him and the ball carrier, okay? How we teach them to cut is we want to hit the play side thigh of the defender. We want to bite the apple on the play side knee. We're going to lose ground first step. We're going to cross over second step, third step. We're going to target ourselves up, and we are sprinting to our target. We tell our kids, you want to finish like Superman. Bring your arms, finish with grass stains on your belly, not your side, not your ass. We want to make sure that we get vertical because if you go long, okay, and you put belly stains of grass, your body surface is so much bigger than if I were to turn sideways and try to cut a kid off. We want to create as much body surface as we possibly can to make sure that kid can't get off of it. All right, I'm going to show you the left tackle right here. He's going to try to cut block this anything in B gap, okay? So we're going to run this play, okay, to the strong side, but this offensive tackle's got B gap. Watch him. He basically gains depth and width. He crosses over, third step gets in the ground, and the rest is a sprint. And he's sprinting and just running and throwing his body. Both guys backside did the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're throwing their bodies. Sometimes the secret is just be the sacrificial lamb. We tell them you're throwing for the love of the game, boys. Okay, running back stays on his path. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your fifth step, and there it gets vertical. Okay, I'll show it to you from the end zone. You can get a feel for it, okay? Watch my big daddy right here. He's going to step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, throw the body, okay? And there we go. That's how we teach the cut for the solo backside, all right? No, I'll teach you another one to move it on, okay? Sometimes they don't get the field. Sometimes you cut them enough. Sometimes they're gap readers and they're not penetrators. We will actually just run and just get your head across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that the first thing that goes across this kid's face is his head. He doesn't even reach the front side hand. We're not even trying to reach the front side head until we can get our head play side. That is so important that you understand the head placement is everything to the running backs, to the O-line. Notice the head placement. He knows he didn't get his head across. He knows he's going to cut right up off of that. And that's how the running back knows what's happening. Head placement makes the reads so much easier for the running back. Okay. I know I'm flying through this, guys, and I'll answer a bunch of questions at the end. I'm so sorry. So number 1, okay, the O-lineman, okay, that's in front of him. So if we just saw the tackle, we got a tackle right here, okay, got a guard right here, and I got a 3 shade right here, and we're going to go this way. You're the backside solo. You're what's called the postman. Your job is to post that kid up so that he can get there. That is your job, okay? Your objective is to get to your block. Second level, first level, doesn't matter. Protecting your play side gap, and your job is to prop up the backside shade for a cutoff, okay? So here's our rule. You can't clear the first level, meaning you cannot leave the first level until you hit your third step. Why? Because the running back is going to make his decision on his third step. Everything has to work together. If you leave early, that running back not going to be able to deliver that linebacker to you. You're going to give him a bad read. You're going to take a bad angle. Everybody has to work together. So how does it work? When we make contact, the guy at guard or center, whoever it is who's going to hold that kid, you're going to stab the backhand to the near D lineman's shoulder to prop him up for a cutoff, okay? And what you're going to do, you're going to prop that guy up. and you're going to try to run. And what you're going to do is there's 4 things that can happen, okay? There's 4 things that can happen. Number 1, you can dip and rip because that you feel the guy coming off and get into that guy and run to your linebacker. Number 2, you can stab and pivot if you can't cut the kid. I'm going to explain that one in a second, but it means you're going to stab and you're going to pivot off of that kid's weight, and you're going to use that to propel yourself forward. That 3 or that backside shade runs across your face. You can cut him, or you can run him by the hole, and we call that the cardinal sin. If we run a 3 shade with the guard across the hole, that means somebody didn't do their job and somebody's about to get their butts reamed, okay? So let me show you how this works, okay? We're going to watch the backside guard and tackle. This is a stab and pivot. So we're going to have combos. Simple as this. Covered, uncovered, covered, uncovered, okay? Covered, uncovered. He is going to this kid right here. So he's going to step to the play side nipple, split the crotch. That's the defender he's working to. He knows this guy's here. He's told the tackle, hey, don't cut him. I'll help you. I'll stab and pivot. There's no reason for me to run out here, okay? He's going to shoot his hands. Watch. 1, 2, shoots the inside hand, elbow nice and tight, press, and pivot off of him. So he stabs him, extends the arm, pivots to allow the backside tackle's head to get around, and that allows for the cutoff to happen. The stab and pivot is a big play for guys that are pinchers, 4-eye guys that are flat hole readers, and it's also a really good play call for guys that just want to change the level. Sometimes this guy's been cut about 10 times. Sometimes you have to change how you block kids, but get the same result, okay? Running back stays, the same guy for the Broncos. That's why he was successful with the LA Rams, because he runs wide zone better than about any running back in the NFL right now, other than Ezekiel Elliott and some of those guys. Okay, so here's an example of what's happening here. So they're going to run wide zone to your left. Okay, I'm going to pause here in a second so you can see it. They're going to run this way. Okay, combos. Okay, combos, combos, combos. Okay, we don't want solos as much as we possibly can. The problem is this no shade is hanging on the center. So you can actually see the center making a communication call with the guard. Watch. He tells him right here. Come on, come on, come on. I got to leave though. He knows he's got to get to 43, so he tells him, I got to fast. It means I'm getting out of here fast. I can't hang. So he's going to tell him, hey, I got to go, but I'm going to stab him up for you. So watch. Step into play side nipple. He steps to play side nipple. The defender in front of him. He opens and extends the backside hand for the stab. Guard's got to get his head across. He does not get his head across, which is bad head placement, which makes a cloudy read for my running back. But remember what I told you before? Days of thunder, baby. Put your foot in the ground. This thing's cloudy. Just duck your head and get to the smoke. Okay? 5 or 6 yards. Don't bounce. Trust the process. It's going to happen. Okay? I'm going to show you that one. All right. 2-man combos. Okay? We're going to talk about 2-man combos. We're going to talk about the front side of this play, which is going to be over here to your right. We're going to work this play right here. Okay? Covered, uncovered. You two are working together. You two are working together. You two are working together. You're going to try to cut him off. Okay. We're working center, front side combo. You got covered. Play side nipple. Okay? Split the crotch. Play side nipple. Split the crotch. You're in charge of your B gap. You can't get B play side. Watch. 1, 2, 3. He's in charge of 59 because that's his gap. But he's got to remember, you can't leave until something physically forces you to get off this block. So you're going to hang because the running back's path is going to deliver him to you. Just trust, trust, trust. Boom. There it is. The running back has to take his path and stay on it. So the O-linemen know exactly where they're going to go. So they understand. Okay? Covered guy. You know you have help backside. Your job is to make sure you get play side nipple. You've got to win hat placement. You've got to move him, and you've got to get movement. The covered guy in the first combo is the guy that has to get all the movement. Without him, this thing doesn't work, okay? You have to have a strong backside hand, but you don't have to be as conservative. You can come hell or high water. You can come shot out of a cannon. You can blow that dude up because you have help coming from the inside. If that first level defender slants inside of you, you have your catch hand, catch that thing, stay on it. Center should come and knock the piss out of you and knock you off to the next guy. But don't ever leave until something forces you to leave, okay? So I'm going to give you a play here, okay? So right now we're going to watch the left side. This is a great example of getting beat play side, okay? Getting beat away from your help. We're going to watch. They're going to run wide zone to the left. Left guard and center are working together right here. You're going to watch the left guard get beat away from his help. Watch. Okay, here he goes. He steps, boom, boom, steps underneath himself. Head placement's in good. He's starting to lose it. He's starting to lose it. He gets beat away from his help. Okay, running back should have had a nice, easy read right here because they had the angles. They had everything they wanted. Okay, now the running back has to stop early. He's got a double cut. He has to double cut again. Here comes the backside fold in. You get a hurt knee, and that's where Gurley gets hurt in the season. If you want to know later on, if you ever watch, this is when he gets hurt in the season. This is why he started losing all the carries in the NFL. So he's going to run. This play should have hit right here and never gone off. But this left guard right here got beat away from his help and had terrible hat placement, got himself in a lot of trouble. Okay? So uncovered guy, you have the easiest job in football. You're running to a guy who's going to take the blunt end of the punishment for you. You have one job, okay? And that's to make this combo work. We tell our guys very simply this. There's only 3 things that a defender can do on a covered lineman. Okay? We read feet. He can either run away from me. If he runs away from me off the snap, I'm going to take my 3 steps toward my combo, but the reality of it is I shouldn't touch him in 3 steps, and I'm just going to climb. If I see feet to me, I know I got to take this guy over because I have to physically knock my guy off the block, otherwise he's not going to leave. So I'm going to run, get my helmet to his play side nipple, and I'm going to press square, and I'm going to try to get the hook, and I'm going to try to get my backside hand there so the running back has a nice, decisive, clear read. Next, okay? Color hanging. If that guy, my 3rd step, if I'm there and I can't hook him and he's not really away from me, or my cover guy's kind of hanging, I'm going to shove the living piss out of that kid and make my covered lineman look like a superhero, all right? And then I'm going to climb. So here's an example, okay? We're watching the right side over here. We're watching this guy's feet, okay? Combo is right here. First step's going to take him. You'll see it. First step's inside. Guard knows he's got to take over. Tackle's not going to turn his shoulders. He's going to stay straight on his path. Boom. And that's how you get the 4-eye tight front. That's why it's easy for the wide zone because it actually hits in that area. And that's exactly what people want. Okay. So next one, trying to run through this for you guys. We're going to watch this guard. We're going to watch the guard tackle right here. Plays going this way. We're going to watch the feet of this defensive lineman right here. You're going to see what he's going to see. It's very simple, very easy read. If you watch feet, okay, snap, boom, feet away. Right, guard knows I'm going to stay on my track for 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to climb. He gets the living piss cracked out of him. He gets pancaked, but we still freaking run and score. Beautiful. It's that easy. Okay. Here's a great one for you. Okay. Guard, center working a combo together here against a really good, well-coached football team. Okay. 1, 2, 3. He gives a shove to the kid, shoves him, and climbs on his 3rd step. Remember, the running back's aiming point is in path. They're going to take the linebacker where he exactly wants him to go. Okay? Remember, the whole purpose of this game is to get width, push them wide, cut them in half. Okay? Hope that makes sense for you guys. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know I could do this I could probably do this for 3 hours. So I hope that helped you guys out. Shoot me some questions if you have them. Hope that helped. Hope you enjoyed it.
Awesome job, Coach. Awesome. Thank you. Is there any questions out there, guys?
Wow. Nobody?
Coach Noble, how you doing, buddy?
Good. My question is, what fronts give you the most trouble when you guys try and run this, or what gives you the most trouble?
Okay, so go back and watch the LA Rams 2 years ago when they went to the playoffs. So what gets them in trouble, what really gets you in trouble is not necessarily a front. It's more of a philosophy defensively. So I'm trying to create double teams. If you don't allow me to create double teams by running for example, outnumbering me in every gap. So, for example, if you go back and watch the New England Patriots play in the Super Bowl against the LA Rams, they just put somebody in every gap and said, you're not going to double team anybody. We're not going to let you create flow. And if you go back and watch this year, the LA Rams had an answer for that, and so did the 49ers. And that was very simply I was just running the crack toss. And so if we see people trying to take away our double teams, what we do is we pin that whole thing in, and then we get outside on the edge. We still run wide zone except for my tackle who pulls around, but everything else is the exact same.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yes, sir. I feel like I flew for the thing. So,
Coach Freeman, you got us?
Yeah, I got you. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Doing well.
Good. So the play that you mentioned where Gurley got hurt when he cut back inside,
Yep.
Should he have stayed on the inside? Even though his guard missed his block, should he have trust the process, stay on the inside, load his hat, whatever he could?
So his initial read told him to stay on that path, and the guard got beat play side. You just have to put your foot in the ground and get vertical. when kids get in trouble is between the first and second level in this play is when they want to try to jump cut and make something happen. I tell my kids, and so I've been to places where we've had some really good athletes and some really bad ones. We tell our kids, A to B, you do me. So when you get past second level, you do whatever you want to do, man. That's on you. Like, you got me 4 yards.
Right.
You got me 4 yards. I'm cool. But after that, I'm just trying not to get you hurt. But like, we'll tell our kids, A to B, just do me. Put your foot on the ground, give me 4. After that, you get past linebackers, man, you can go across field. I don't care.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Great. Anybody else?
Man, I feel like I flew through it. So if you guys have any questions, man, I have Twitter. You guys can hit me up on Twitter anytime, man. I'm a pretty open book. We run basically one play, so people know who we are.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, Coach. I know there's a lot of good stuff there, and I know it's only an hour, so you got to kind of zoom through it, but appreciate it. I know a lot of guys got a lot of good stuff out of it, and yeah, I would encourage guys to maybe hit you up and get any other questions they might have to you, and go from there. It's really what we're trying to do here is connect guys, and it's been working really well. So
absolutely. And you guys, if you have any questions, man, I'll probably pick your brain too, man. I know what I know, and I really don't get too much away from it. So if you have any questions, holler at me. You've got my Twitter. It's just @Coach Codutti. So I appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Good night. You too. All right, guys, we're gonna switch gears here. Let me try to find Coach Huff. Hold on one second, man.
You got me?
Coach, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
You want me to start video? There we go.
There you go. So now you should be able to just control your deal from your end, Coach, and
Okay.
and we'll get going here in a second.
Okay. You want to give everybody a minute to go use the restroom?
Yeah, right. This is perfect. Thanks for coming on, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a handful of guys on here. Everybody's muted. What we've been doing is just kind of saving some questions for the end. The guys have the functionality to raise their hand in the meeting, and then we'll just recognize that. If you want to get through your work, your presentation, then we'll work the questions at the end. That'd be cool with us. Unless you want to handle them as we go, it's up to you.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind handle them as we go. So if anybody, I'm really kind of focused on